and gentlemen, if you're standing by for Washington, our next departure will be the 2 o'clock, and it should be leaving at a C-41. So if you want to head over to C-41 and remain seated, we'll hopefully be able to help
Nick.
you a little later with the seats.
Oh,
Nick.
Oh, Joe, there you are. There you
Hey, what took you so long? I thought you had pre-check. I got through in like 2 seconds. Didn't have to take my shoes off.
are. I do have pre-check, but turns out hummus is considered a liquid to TSA.
You can bring 3.4 ounces of hummus.
Oh, I had way more than 3.4 ounces, Joe.
I saw your like 5-gallon pail of hummus that you were taking through TSA.
It usually fits in the overhead, and I usually get it through. But this
your
time they
carry-on?
were,
You
they
burn
were.
a carry-on?
I think they were profiling me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I says to the guy, "Hummus is a liquid. Usually hummus doesn't turn into a liquid until I've let it sit out of the fridge for a week, and then I try to eat it, and it goes through my gut. Then it's liquid."
And that's when they took you to the back.
That is when they searched me for a half hour. Yeah.
Little did they know you're the big bean boy, and you should be allowed your carry-on of hummus.
Oh no, it's good talking beans with you, Joe.
It is.
Being in the airport with you.
Being in the airport, I like it. Getting our gags and spills in. Where are you headed?
Oh,
It's funny that
I know.
we're seemingly meeting up.
We
after-
have these two separate trips, and we
Yeah.
happen to run into each other at the airport.
Yeah.
I'm headed to Southwest Florida. I'm going to go down there and start a road trip across the country with my girlfriend, Alyssa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Heading out with my wife. She's
Who?
she's in the Starbucks line. My wife. Yeah. I think she's mostly just kind of acting like she doesn't see.
She didn't see me.
And we're heading to Iceland, so we're gonna go there for a while.
Oh,
Should be
nice.
fun, yeah.
That's cool. So you guys must be headed to the international terminal soon. then.
We're going to the Delta Sky Club. Look, we're gonna stop there for a
Oh.
little bit first. Do you have Sky Club access? Can you join us? That'd be great. We'll get a couple drinks in.
Yeah, I know. You know, I normally have it, but I think they you have to be flying Delta to get in there
Sure.
that day.
What are
so
you flying?
I got to go down a couple terminals to Spirit Airlines. I think.
Oh, all right.
Have you flown it?
No. Oh no, Nick. All right. Well,
Okay.
we'll go our separate ways then. I don't want to keep you
Yeah,
late.
it's
Don't
good
wanna
running
do
into
this
you,
again.
buddy.
All right.
Safe travels. Have a good
Yeah.
trip in Iceland,
I'll
and then
talk to
that
you
fucking Delta Sky Club. All right, see ya.
Oh, hey, wait, Nick.
Hey,
What?
what? You got guest access to the Delta Sky Club?
No,
for
no,
me?
I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Oh.
What about cold cans? I feel like we're gonna miss a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna be gone for a couple weeks. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be gone for a couple weeks.
Listeners will miss out.
God, it'll be a while till we put out a new one.
Well, fuck it. We're back! Spike the levels, we're back! God, hey buddy.
Oh, nice abrupt ending there.
It's gonna be jarring.
Cheers. I
as
didn't want to
coming back
drink
after
till
this
he.
time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm.
Mm.
Let me tell you about this beer, Joe,
You
because
do.
it is associated with the trips that
Have caused
we
us to be
just
away.
went on, and we were away for a bit. But this beer is called Family Vacation Beer.
Okay.
An exclamation point after
My
beer.
favorite part of it. Family vacation beer.
And this was picked up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yep.
My girlfriend and I on that road trip, we camped in Grand Teton National Park for a couple nights.
Well, I don't think you clarified. Now, the last listeners heard you were flying out to Florida. So
and
how
we were
did you
road
get
tripping.
back?
So we kind of went across the middle of the country, basically, taking in
Diagonal.
God's country. Okay,
Flyover states.
God's country. They fly over F1. What are the airplanes that they fly over stadiums?
The fighter jets. I don't know
Fighter
what they're
jets. They fly over fighter jets because it's God's
Ah,
country
yeah.
and they know how to respect the flag.
They're standing for the anthem.
I feel like that one's gonna. I don't know if I might cut that.
Look, it's been a while. Don't cut anything. We're back, baby.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, we
So
went up.
you're going through the states.
We did Memphis, Tulsa, Wichita, Denver, Grand Teton National Park,
Yeah.
Idaho, then Seattle. That was the basic outline
What
of
was
it.
your favorite?
I would say Tulsa was my favorite city, it had like a cool art scene. It's Woody Guthrie's hometown, or he spent some time there or something. So they have a Woody Guthrie museum, which I did not go to, but I assume it's nice.
It's my favorite because they have a Woody Guthrie museum.
Well, here's the thing. We happened to be passing through Tulsa on a Monday, Tuesday, when everything is closed in every city. So
pretty sleepy then.
Even the hotel that we were in, which is a really nice hotel, had a rooftop bar with a 360-degree view of beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And it was closed on Monday, Tuesday, so we didn't get to go in there.
Wow, and it was still your favorite.
Yeah, it was a cool city. They had a lot of cool bars. We could go into Tulsa for that entire episode, and maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
At some point. But
I never think of Tulsa as like a trendy place to visit at all. So that's
I
cool.
don't think it is. Like, I don't think no one's going to be flying into Tulsa to check it out.
They'll
necessarily.
be flying over it.
Damn it. But it's like 400,000 people. It's a cool city.
Nice.
You can park anywhere.
Oh,
Very drivable.
now
It's
that's
the dream.
Now I'm in. Now I see why it was your favorite. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I also enjoyed camping, of course. Like those are sort of two different spectrums of that of the road trip. But beers like this made it, hey, A-okay in my book.
I gotta say, I'm also holding it in because I'm listening to you talk about what was okay, the parking, what you enjoyed, and listeners should know Nick has no shirt on across from me. He's in the studio.
This is not
shirtless.
the first time actually that I've recorded without a shirt on. But as I was telling Joe, I didn't want to get my shirt wrinkly because I got a date after this.
Well, that's the thing. Part of your road trip across the country is you've been, astute listeners would know, you've been kind of dating remotely for some time. And
yes,
the road trip,
love to date remotely.
the road trip was a one-way ticket, baby.
Uh-huh.
For her, she's not
She
going
moved
back.
here.
That's awesome.
Cheers to that. Cheers.
buddy. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to do this on air.
Welcome back, Alyssa.
Yeah, welcome back. And I'm going to do this on air. Devin was just telling me we want to throw a dinner for you two and maybe for Flunker, anybody who's new to the city.
The Flunk Dog.
The Flunk Dog
The
Millionaire.
Rachel.
Anyone's new to the city, yeah.
Okay.
We'll do something easy, taco night or barbecue or something.
That
We'll
would be
just hang
fun.
out
Thanks,
one of these
buddy.
weeknights. So
Thanks, buddy.
you'll be hearing more from my people later.
Nice.
They'll get in touch with
Nice.
the people.
He's totally going to rescind that offer off the air, by the way.
I very clearly did that on air, just to put on the air.
Put it on the air. There we go. So yeah,
fun.
that
Very
was
fun.
my trip.
And you stopped in Jackson Hole.
Yeah, let's examine the hole. This can stood out to me because it has a very cool label, I think. It's got like a vintage van, like road tripping van on the front. As you said earlier, it's beer with an exclamation point. Like, that's a great part of it.
Family vacation beer.
And they have some copy on here that's sort of questionable. Questionable copy.
We're back, baby.
Here we go.
Back to questionable copy corner.
All right. You've barely crossed the state line, and together time has already morphed into, I needed a beer time.
Nice. We hate each other.
That's when you truly appreciate the well-balanced, crisp, sweet, malty flavor of a brew that goes down easy, ignores the backseat fights, and satisfies for the long haul. Parentheses, are we there yet?
That's fun.
Yes.
Cheers again.
Drink while you're driving,
Drinking,
Dad.
yeah, that's ostensibly what we're saying here. Your family gets bad, you crack open one of these, you put it in the cup holder. Put
This
a koozie,
whole
put a cold
thing-
cans
yeah,
koozie over
yeah,
it for $2.95 on coldcanspodcast.com.
The cop will actually cheers you if you have the cold cans koozie on. This whole thing is basically saying, like, it's okay, crack a beer.
Yeah, we understand
While
you
you're
hate
driving.
your shit kids in the back seat, so crack one open and get behind the wheel. It's family vacation
It's family
beer.
time.
Yeah.
So that's funny. It's a cool can, though. It also has a big thing in national parks in that area of the country is like be bear aware, they say. So you like have to lock your food away, put anything that smells like something because the bears will find it. And on here they have a thing that says be beer aware.
Be beer aware. Drink fresh. Now that's too good. Now that's what I call good copy. Also it says pack in, pack out, recycle, live deep. So they take it seriously on that edge corner. Proudly brewed and canned by Roadhouse Brewing Company out of Jackson, Wyoming.
And they have that independent brewery, independent craft like logo on here.
Yeah. And it's described as a crushable ale.
Yeah.
Pair with float trips, mom's apple pie, and jam grass. Notes of sessionable, bright, and refreshing. Hey, wait a second. The notes say sessionable on it.
Mm-hmm.
Our lawyers are going to be in touch.
Wait, do you think we came up with the term sessionable?
Yes. They took it from cold cans. They took the trend that Cold Cans Nation has propagated across this
Yes.
great nation, including the flyover
Binge
states,
drinking.
and they put it on their copy. I'm turning on this beer. No, it's good beer. It actually has a little bit of like I mean, it isn't just a plain beer. It's kind of got like a cereal taste in it.
I think, yeah, when they say that crisp, sweet, malty flavor, I think that's what we're getting there.
Yeah, the sweetness a little bit. It's like
Yeah.
kind of like, what are the like Frosted Flakes that aren't frosted? Like it's just Special K.
Now that you say
flakes.
this, I think when Alyssa and I had these, because we bought 2 6-packs and then I had 2 to come back with,
Yeah.
I think this was the beer that she said tasted like corn pops to her.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, this tastes like cereal to me. Like not Frosted Flakes, but just the kind of brand version of that. Little bit of
Have
sugar.
you had
but
corn pops?
Yeah. Yeah. I got corn pops out of that.
Okay.
Or maybe a Smacks with that frog on it. Smacks were
Aren't
stale.
those apple smacks, though? Those are like apple.
I thought they were just
Oh, there are
there's a
regular
plain
Smacks?
Yeah.
You got smacks, and apple smacks.
Smacks would go stale as soon as you open the bag. You open it and it goes, and they're chewy.
All of those did, though. Like, and you still ate them because you're just a fat little kid. Nothing to do. Have I
Yeah.
told you about that picture I've seen of myself as a kid? I'm like at my grandma's house for breakfast. And I'm sitting there, I got to be like 5 years old or something. In front of me is a bowl of corn pops. In one hand is a Pop-Tart. In the other hand is a glass of Kool-Aid, cherry Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. Get the day off
And I
right.
I got my red lips from the cherry Kool-Aid. That's the most depressing thing. Ah.
But you didn't need. I get the Kool-Aid in a breakfast item. I love that you're sitting there with cereal in front of you, and it's not yet the center of attention
Yeah.
because your hands are
There's still
full,
some in there, yeah. I hadn't completed it.
and you had to reach for the tart.
Hot out of the toaster. That's the way I like them.
Did
They're
you
not
know
good
that
unless I burn my fingers.
one Pop-Tart has like 400 calories? One. And then, so the package has 800 calories.
That can't be true.
Yeah, it's true.
Look it up, Joe.
Look it up, Joe. Look
Our
it up,
intern
Joe.
would normally look up this calorie count stuff, but we're still on the search. So if you guys have anybody who might be an intern candidate,
Yep.
it does not pay well or anything at all, but
Yeah.
the benefits.
And you'll more than likely survive. I see 310 calories, but I'm not sure if that's just like an unfrosted. Oh, an unfrosted Pop-Tart has 210 calories.
Okay.
So that frosting will lather 100 right on. I
Yeah.
don't know what kind it was. I was in the grocery store and saw one
Looked at
closer
it.
to 400.
Well, they do make them. They're basically desserts now. The fact that they're still in like the breakfast aisle is ridiculous to me.
Any cereal in the breakfast aisle
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
And
Lucky
this-
Charms, a
Yes.
solid breakfast.
Oreos or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
Reese's Puffs. Like it's
Yeah.
all just sugar. It's the same thing of like having a donut for breakfast. A donut is not breakfast.
I hate that more than anything. Breakfast is the only meal where it's like dessert is perfectly fine as a well-balanced meal. I'm going to grab a donut. You can't for dinner do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a
Can't be
bowl of
like,
ice cream for dinner.
For dinner, I have ice cream and 3 slices of chocolate cake. Oh, okay, cool. You get a little bit of sugar in you then. That's good. But breakfast, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Even a bagel with like the strawberry
Yeah.
schmear or like a cinnamon schmear, and it's like, this is my breakfast. This
Yeah.
is just
So people would bring that for breakfast too. Like you bring a box of donuts in for breakfast.
yeah,
like
so
to
everybody
work.
can have breakfast.
So you're hosting a dinner party and it's
Yeah.
just ice cream and Snickers bars.
I have just fudge. We're all gonna gut it.
But speaking of sweets,
Yes. So, my wife and I were very fortunate. We toured Iceland for 9 days. My assessment of Iceland is so we did. You would have liked this trip. We did a road trip. We did
Nice.
it's called the Ring Road. It goes all the way around the island. It kind of sounds cliche, but it really does. I've said this before, but it feels a lot like being on another planet. And it literally though, not like what you'd say.
Mailbag Dan Shade says, "What about the gravity and the temperature?"
In the spacesuits, that would be what feeling like another planet. And Dan's right about that, but that's why it feels like it. But no, honestly, like you leave like Reykjavik.
What a
which-
similes.
you leave Reykjavik, which is like their city, which is not much, just like a port city. And,
Reykjavik.
damn near what? You leave it, and there's like sheep on the road, and there's like marshes, and there's the most beautiful waterfalls you ever see, the volcanoes, and the earth is cracking open in places. Very cool, but very expensive. So not sessionable. Yeah, like literally a
You
bowl.
were telling me about that.
A bowl
It's
of soup is
ridiculous.
like $22.
Oh my god.
So you just eat their like hot
Do they
dogs.
take American food, or did you have to convert when you went there? Or I mean, American
American
money.
currency? They everywhere takes card. You could be in a remote town in some little tiny shop that you don't even know is a shop. Someone's just like, "I'll serve you food," and they have a card reader
Their
for
card
you
reader.
ready. You do not need. They have Kroner, and you don't need to take any of that ever out. But anyway. So besides the expensive food and stuff, it was a really cool vacation, and I brought back a parable or terrible. This is so one of the things Icelanders do well is licorice. So this is something called lakris, and the flavor is thristakular. Don't know what the fuck that is. They look like little tennis balls.
They do.
What this is this a snack of like a little nugget of black licorice, and then chocolate surrounding it with like a hard shell, kind of like a Easter candy shell.
Okay, yeah.
So-
And the packaging, it looks like there's a combo in like a pizza combo, except it's dark in the middle of the chocolate ball. Which
That's licorice.
I know, but that makes it look like that, which is getting me thinking.
What's
Why
that
doesn't
about?
combos do that? Like, they have switched to sweet things. They have a filling that's like cinnamon icing,
Oh,
but why not combine
Wrap
the
it in
two?
a-
Get your pizza combo with like chocolate coating.
oh, Christ,
Why not?
Nick.
Why not?
This goes back to your picture.
Talk
of
to me,
you holding the
Nabisco.
Pop-Tart.
Or whoever
So-
makes it. It's not Nabisco.
I think this could pair well because if you just have bran cereal and it just tastes like Pops or whatever, what you might want to put in it is a little bit of little sprinkling of sweets. So here, go ahead and have
By the way,
one.
in this beer, do you think that's just corn? Like,
I don't know what it is, but there's
Or I guess
definitely something there.
grain,
And there's a
wheat.
little bit of sweetness, almost like vanilla or something in it. So do you like hard shell candies, kind of like these Easter egg type hard shells?
I like it when it's a hard shell and a smooth interior. I don't like it when it's like a malted milk ball with the hard exterior and the like crunch.
Okay, well,
So
we'll
like
see
peanut
what you
butter
think
M&Ms
here.
I like.
Okay, well,
Okay.
here, go ahead and pop that. I'll
Cheers.
talk through it. And then I didn't talk through it. I took a swig before I was going to do that.
I like the texture.
Yeah. Do you like black licorice?
I do.
Me too. Not many people do. I like these. Iceland. So this is kind of like all of Iceland. Everything is like just not something you've experienced before, and certainly I've not experienced whatever the hell this is before.
Uh-huh. I'm curious, like, to just have the licorice once, because the texture of the licorice, I think, is what was a little off-putting to me once I was, like, swallowing it.
Yeah. I had some black Icelandic licorice. They actually have a liquor called Black Death. And it's, I forget what it's called. It's like Brennivik or something like that. And
Here we
it's,
call that Jägermeister.
and it's much worse than Jägermeister.
Yeah.
You're holding the face. Nick made a face as he made the joke and held it long.
I know, my eye is going to be permanently crossed, like your
Yes.
mom used to tell you. You know, your face will stay like that, little boy. That's what she would call me.
Yeah, you're gonna like. Oh my God!
What's going on?
Sound
Where
effects
those
from the
sound
bit.
effects from our
for
bit?
our bit at the beginning. Whatever. We'll
Here,
power through. it.
Hold up the candy so I can get a picture.
Okay,
I
I'm
can
gonna hold up
Facebook
the
Live
candies.
you.
And
I
so
can't
here's
see
a
the
pic of me.
candies, but hold up the bag.
Here's the bag. This is good podcasting, guys.
Mhm. Oh,
right,
yeah.
here we
Okay.
go.
It's all worth it.
But yeah, licorice they do really well. Everything in that country is very strange, but it was a good vacation. It's good to be back. It's good to be back doing CC with you, boy. I
It
missed
is.
ya.
It is. Cheers, my friend. So, in terms of this being parable, what do you think?
This one's tough for me. I don't think it's an automatic rejection because I think a little sweetness goes with this beer. That
Sweet on sweet?
I don't think it's that sweet. That's the thing. It
The
complements it well.
candy or the beer, you're saying?
The beer, not the
Yeah.
candy. I think it complements it kind of well.
It is going well. It's not off-putting,
I don't think
but
this
it's
is
not
bad.
called parable or off-putting.
I would go. Are we going to get the first ever non? Are we
No,
gonna get
I
the
think
first
it is.
ever- Oh, damn it! I think it's parable.
Nom nom.
nom,
nom
nom,
nom.
nom, nom, nom. All right. We covered the vacations. Covered parable.
What?
terrible.
No, let's talk more about the food in Iceland. Like, what was your favorite food thing?
So one
Besides
thing that's
licorice.
cool. One thing that's cool is they have. So like I said, the cheeseburger's $38 and a bowl of soup is $22, and that's insane. But you can eat like weird shit. You can eat fermented shark. You can eat whale. You can eat. I have a little side story here about puffins. So puffins are this
You
little.
can eat puffins.
Yes, you can eat puffins.
Oh my god.
They're this little cute little bird. It looks kind of like a penguin. And we went on a puffin tour, and they do. There's puffin hunting season. They shoot these puffins and eat them. But we went on this puffin tour, and the tour guide is a local out in this kind of remote island just outside of Iceland, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, there's 2,000 people who live on our tiny little island, and we see these puffins all the time. We do our best to save them and stuff." And he's driving around the town. He goes, "Actually, there's our dentist." Which is nice because the dentist is back. He was away for a couple of months. He was coaching the World Cup team, the Iceland national team at the World Cup, and now he's back, which is good because I had a dentist appointment.
Oh my god.
And he's dead serious.
That's
So-
awesome.
So that's what Iceland is like. There's like 300,000 farmers that live there.
That's awesome.
The fact that they like compete in the World Cup is fucking insane.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, nobody lives on that island, but they're very hardy, like stern type.
Yeah,
well, they
that
were
is-
kind of tourists, but
That is what's cool is like other countries where Olympians are like, and this is true in some sports in America, but Olympians are like, they have day jobs and then they're also
Oh, yeah.
Olympians. They're the best at this one niche thing.
yeah. And-
By the way, Puffin Tour, that's what I call it when I walk to all the different weed shops in Seattle.
Oh, yes. But yeah, it was a strange experience, but the food was good. The cool thing is that
Did you have Puffin?
no, I didn't have puffin.
Okay.
Devin didn't want me to eat puffin or whale for moral reasons, which is
yes,
fair.
Yes.
But anyway, the thing that was interesting is that $38 cheeseburger, but then like lobster is also $38 because they can grab the lobster out of
yeah. So that's what we
So
talked
seafood
about
is
that
great.
earlier. Is like the stuff's so expensive because they import everything.
They
right?
import
Like,
everything, yeah. Like you go to the grocery store, there's just like rotten fruit there. That's all you have to buy.
rotten potatoes and
There-
one apple.
Yeah, there was a salad bar with iceberg lettuce that was going bad around the edges. They can grow red pepper for some reason. Otherwise, the volcanic ash doesn't let them grow anything. And then it was just like potatoes, meat, and eggs. And that was the salad bar. It was just a little iceberg lettuce and potatoes. So yeah, it's not a
Iceberg
veggie
lettuce. They should
friendly.
call it Greenberg lettuce.
Hey, Greenland, Greenberg.
Yeah, the joke is that like Iceland is green and Greenland is icy, and then iceberg lettuce is actually green.
There's
It
a lot of
works,
connection there.
Joe.
I don't know. Listeners, chime in. Did
Yeah,
it work?
chime in, hit the poll, touch
Hashtag
your phone.
Greenberg.
Volume up for yes, volume down for no. We'll share the results on the next show. Ooh, Joey got an email.
Oh, I meant to be muted. I'm sorry, you guys. So let's keep the bullet train moving down the road. Another thing that I want to talk about something that happened to me today because I just felt it as I laughed and leaned back. I was walking my dog this morning, and I turned the corner and I coughed. I went, like really like a good cough, and I threw up my back. And I threw up my back, and I crumpled to the ground, and I was just sitting on the sidewalk like a little boy, holding my dog out, and Douglas was very confused until like a neighbor came out and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I can't stand up." And they helped me up, and they helped me kind of hobble over to my steps. I mean, when I was sitting there and the neighbor hadn't come out and I tried to get up and I couldn't, the thought crossed my head, I got to call 911.
Yeah,
Because I coughed and threw my back out.
right.
It hurt so fucking bad.
Did your neighbors see you fall, or they just came out and you were sitting
Maybe
there?
they saw me from inside,
okay, you
but
didn't-
they weren't outside. I was just sitting there for a little while, and then they kind of like turned the corner and they were like, "Are you all right?" And I was like I'm not in grave danger,
Right.
but I
not a
just hurt
stroke.
my back really bad, and I can't stand up very easily. And then they helped me up, and I went to my house and I like hobbled up the steps, and I'm still dealing with it. What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
Mold.
like we were talking about it, and I asked you if you like sat weird on a chair or something, or like slept in a different environment.
It may be the travel. 9 days of so we road trip.
What,
for
yeah,
9
when did you
days.
get back?
Last Wednesday, so almost a
Okay.
week ago. But I don't know. We road trip for 9 days. I got sick between then. I was kind of sick this weekend. Was able to watch Aaron Rodgers' heroics in Week 1 of the Green Bay Packers. But anyway, so I was a little bit sick. It just everything was has kind of been off, and then it culminated with the sneezing and throwing my back out. So
Jesus.
the travel may sound exotic and wonderful, but it takes a fucking toll on you, man.
It really does. It really does.
It's
It's
hard.
not a sustainable way to live. traveling all the time.
Yeah.
So you're sure it is your back, right? It's like it's not your kidneys or like
Well, it could be my kidneys.
appendix or something.
Kidneys, the liver could finally be acting up.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a back, and I iced it and it feel better. But
Okay.
anyway, it just was a fucking crazy thing that happened, and
That
I
is
laughed.
crazy.
You made me laugh, and you almost threw my back out again. So I have to be very gentle. I'm the hollow
Mission
bones.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Comedy is pain.
So let's rank this thing. Let's get to
Yeah,
the beer
it seems
advocate.
that part of the show.
Sure. Did you want to talk a little? Did you go to the Roadhouse Brewing Company's?
We didn't. We
Brewery?
bought this in a let's call it a bodega since we're loosely using that term on this podcast.
It's not loose.
We'll get into that on a future show. It was just like a convenience store on the way out of Jackson Hole back towards our campsite.
So you got in a bodega.
And we got in a bodega in Jackson Hole. And they had it's just like everywhere else. There's so many local breweries now. Like there were like 10 breweries that are based out of Jackson, Wyoming. It's
You say
insane.
that like you're pissed off.
It's
There's so many local breweries now.
I'm honestly
Like
not
you're a
pissed off.
right-wing radio
It's just
host.
surprising. Yeah, no, I was saying that in a confrontational way. I'm not upset about it. It's
It's-
cool. I
it's
like
cool, yeah,
drinking these
yeah, yeah.
beers. It's
Yeah.
just, it blows my mind sometimes about how
Yeah.
they can exist and who's doing this.
Well, who
Like, is
wouldn't
it
do
always a side thing? Is someone sustaining themselves full time? Them and like 3 other people?
I think we've seen in this show, like they start with a side thing because it's everybody likes beer
Right.
and it tastes great. It's a cool hobby to do, and if you have any propensity to do it, opening one seems to be a reasonable thing. You start with
Right.
small
It's
batches.
pretty low barrier to entry. Or it's like effort is the barrier to entry because you can get all the equipment.
Yeah, well, certainly for small batch, like just
Mhm.
throwing a little party and having your beer, that type of thing. Nick, what if we made a cold cans beer? The ultimate sessionable
Cold cans, Kolsch. Kolsch cans.
cold cans Kolsch. I'm dead serious.
No, we
This
could. We
idea is
should.
coming on air. This is really cool, and we could send it out to Cold Cans Nation USPS. We know, we know how valid
Be
that
shaken
is.
to hell by the time you get it. Peak of freshness. No, it's not a bad idea. We've talked. I think we
That'd be
used to
fun.
talk about it at the beginning of the show. Like, imagine a day when the beer aisle at your grocery store is headlined by Cold Cans Lager.
Cold
would be
cans Kolsch would be a lot. It wouldn't have to be a Kolsch.
No,
Just for
whatever's the
alliterative
easiest
purposes.
beer to make is probably what we
Yeah,
would start
we'd
with.
call it Cold Cans Kolsch with a C.
Redefining. Yeah, Kolsch.
It'd be our logo, the podcast logo, but it'd be Cold Cans Kolsch with a C.
Mhm.
All right, let's talk about it and never do it. That'd be fun. No, that
The
would be
American dream.
good. It would be a good idea. It'd be a good idea.
It would be fun.
You know what?
It would be.
You know what I was
It
thinking?
would be fun. You know what? That would be fun.
I was thinking another good side hustle.
Yeah.
We're talking
Love
about
to
the gig
hustle on the
economy.
side.
If you live in a big city, we're fortunate to live in Seattle. One thing we saw in Iceland, we were in Reykjavik and we were at a microbrewery. We were trying
Mhm.
Icelandic beer. By the way, Icelandic beer, fantastic. They
Oh,
have
yeah?
They have this like white ale, which isn't. It's like a wheat ale, but it's crisp. It's really, really
Nice.
good. If you guys are out there, look for Viking beer or look for, I think it's called Elisiak white ale, and you can get them. It's exported out here. They also do yogurt really well, but whatever. We went to a microbrewery. We were drinking the same shit. Even halfway across the world, there's all these little breweries and stuff in Reykjavik, which is cool. So we were drinking one, and this guy comes in, and he's like, he brings like 5 people with him, and he's like, okay, you guys sit there, and then he's up there getting everybody flights, and I'm like, he looks like a tour guide, and I just happened to open. Actually, Devin said that. So then I just happened to open Airbnb experiences, and I just typed in beer, and the first thing that came up was Reykjavik Beer Tour, and I clicked on it, and it was sure as shit, it was that guy in the picture, and that was standing there. And it got me thinking, a good side hustle would be to be an Airbnb experience person.
Mm.
We could give people beer tours.
Of
We could
Seattle.
create a Cold Cans nation of tourists.
That's actually a good idea. Would you want to do that?
All
You'd
right,
want
you
to
shot the idea
subcontract
down.
it to
Yeah, you shot
somebody.
the idea down. God damn it.
You take 10% and make this other person deal with all these fucking tourists.
Wait, well, what are you saying, Nick? All right.
But no, that's not a bad idea,
I don't know,
honestly.
it's a cool
Because
idea.
the Seattle beer scene is expanding a lot, and like
Yeah.
there are like very different parts of the city to get good beer
Yeah,
and
and-
unique experiences.
Yes, you could get both a flavor of the city by going up to the Ballard breweries out there, going to Fremont, coming in Capitol Hill here
Mhm.
near the studio, and then so you get the history of the city through the lens of beer. That's pretty fun. I think it'd be a cool thing to do.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm thinking about subcontracting it out to someone to do for me. All right, let's pull the bullet train home. Unless
yeah.
you had something to say. What are you saying?
I never have anything to say, Joe. Well, let's get to the Beer Advocate score.
All right.
I'll stick to the script. It's rated as good. There's only 10 ratings. It's a 3.52 out of 5.
Well, does this have distribution?
I don't believe so. I think it's just, like most local breweries, they do not distribute it very widely.
Right.
Might be within Wyoming itself that it's distributed.
So this is for our Wyoming listeners.
Because their website and stuff is pretty put together, I would say. It's not like some of these websites where you can tell it's just like come to our tap room and that's it.
Yeah.
They do have a tap room in that area, but
Pub and eatery. Yep.
let's see. They do have a distributors tab. So Colorado, Southern California, Idaho, except Boise. That's one of them says.
Oh, wow.
But then there's another one that distributes to Boise, and then one in Bozeman, Montana, and one in Jackson, Wyoming.
Okay.
So yeah, decent distribution for a
kind
smaller
of
brewery.
the great. What is that called? What's that region called? I guess it's like the Rocky Mountain region.
Oh yeah, Big Sky Country.
Big Sky
kind of.
Country,
That's
yeah.
Montana. Yeah.
Well, anyway, whatever. It's
Yeah,
not quite like
that area.
it's not quite like the Great Plains. It's
Right.
not the Midwest. It's just between the West Coast and.
Yeah, that's sort of like Rockies. Besides Southern California, this is like Rocky Mountain foothill type thing.
Right.
I don't know.
But hey,
Anyway.
Can't we all just come together around a simple thing like a good malty beer?
Is this a reference to John McCartney or Paul McCartney talking about him and John Lennon
Yeah, John McCartney
and Paul Lennon?
and Paul Lennon. No,
Did you hear about that today?
No, what happened?
I saw a tweet that said Paul McCartney claimed that, or was like talking in detail with a reporter about a time that he and John Lennon jerked off in each other's presence.
Oh,
And then people were all making the joke like, oh, I didn't know Come Together was a true story.
oh
Good bit.
bummer.
Anyway, that's what I thought you were doing because you said come
No.
together with like a twinkle in your eye.
No, I just always have a twinkle in my
All
eye
right.
around you, buddy, when I don't see
Hey.
you for long enough.
By the way, one thing about this beer, I will say from my trip, I tried to pour it into the remaining lemonade that Alyssa had
Is that
after a
code
stop
for
at
piss?
Wendy's. Yes. And it was not good, actually. This wasn't good as a shandy.
Oh, really? Hey, so let's jump slightly then over to the mailbag because I got one mailbag from my brother-in-law, Ross. I was like, we're out of concepts for cold cans. We're about to make a comeback. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. Come up with some concepts.
Uh-huh.
He had a concept of a shandy off.
Oh, okay.
And I think a good premise would be, a bit of a kind of ad hoc re-rank.
Mhm.
We get a new shandy that we rank on the episode.
Okay.
But then we also drink Line and Google's Summer Shandy, which I did not get the privilege.
The privilege to consume.
I didn't get the privilege to rank.
Right.
And then the third one that we do in the shandy off, Nick Patri's homemade shandy.
Ooh, that is a good idea.
And
I
so
like that.
maybe one of the future episodes here, we do a shandy off between, the one we
That's a
ranked,
good idea. I wish.
Miney's and yours.
Is this show going to survive till next summer? No, it'll be done by then if we keep to the 100.
If there's a God, it'll be done by then.
Or no, maybe it would still be
If we
because
keep
have
taking
30
month-long trips,
Right,
it'll
yeah.
survive.
That's true.
No, fuck it. Let's just do it now. Tail
It's the end of
this
summer.
farewell
Yeah,
to
the
the
farewell.
sayonara summer.
The shandoff.
The shandoff. So thank you to my brother-in-law.
That's
Ross
a really
for that.
good
It's a
idea.
fucking
That's
fantastic
awesome.
idea, and
That's
we're gonna
awesome. Write it down. We're actually going to do that
do it.
one.
I will write it down in Trello right now. The other mailbag that we got is from our old friend Zach Benhamidi. I don't know if he wants to use last names. I don't give a shit. And Zach basically was just saying, how can a guy go on? He Snapchatted me this
Uh-huh.
without my daily dose of cold cans. So
Yeah,
he's a big fan.
He told me he's been
listening to every
catching up
episode.
lately. Yeah, that's cool.
He urged us to do a live show in our hometown of Manawa. He said, you still got
That's
two
right.
beers on the docket that have to be reviewed, and then our Manawa staples, which is Natty Ice and Busch Light. Not Natty Ice, Natty Light, sorry, and Busch Light. So
Okay.
another idea for something to do.
Yeah, that was last year around this time. I think we were talking about doing a live show back in Manawa. So
Yeah.
maybe this year.
So maybe we'll just talk about all these ideas, like brewing our own beer and doing a live show, and then never do it. But maybe
that's
this is
life.
a new year. Maybe we're out there,
New
we're
year, new
refreshed,
us.
and we're back, and we're ready to do it. Let's rank this son of a bitch. What do you start? I'll come onto my high horse and attack your ranking.
We are back to the old ways. Let me pull up the rankings.
Some things change. Some things they stay the same.
And that's why I voted for. Okay. I don't know why I said that. That was dumb. To me, this is in like Session and Rainier and Liney's O territory.
Okay.
I don't know what number those are because I'm on Trello and not the website. Don't hack our Trello page.
Please don't. And don't hack the website either. I'm sure you could. If you go to coldcanspodcast.com/rankings, you'll see that Liney's original.
Oh, yeah. So we're like 18, 19, 20 range.
Yeah, I think that's good. I'm looking kind of farther up a little bit. I loved Foster's, so I wouldn't put it ahead of that. Santo I really liked too. We shit on it a little bit before. We were like, I don't even remember drinking it, but I remember it being good. Fat Tire's kind of anonymous to me.
Yeah, when I saw that on there, I was thinking that's a little bit too high. I think that's surviving more on reputation than like us actually enjoying it.
But I think it's just a solid beer, and we must have been drinking it, having a good time, and saying, this thing is just fucking rock solid. At 17 out of 69.
Went to that brewery too. That was why. That was part of why I had it high.
But 18, 19, so Session, Rainier, Liney's O. Liney's O, you got Family Matters to deal with there, whether you put it ahead of that or not. I think it's a little tastier than Rainier, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like better than Session. So I'd stick it confidently at 19, but what do you think?
I like that. It's like I said, it was a cool part of a fun road trip, and so that helps it out as well. It's a nice, easy drinking beer. I like that part. That spot for it.
All right, let's do it.
That's my official statement on this beer. I'll take no further questions at this time. Thank you.
So that's it for our first episode back,
and we're back, baby.
We're back. It's good to be here drinking beers with you again.
Yes, talking airports.
Talking about throwing our backs out and laying on the sidewalk because you can't stand up.
Oh, God, yeah. Get well,
It
Joe.
hurt pretty
Get
bad.
well.
Yeah, I will. You know what makes me feel well? Drinking these beers, drinking a family vacation.
Hell
beer!
Yeah. Hell
with
yeah.
my good buddy. And you know what? Until next week, motherfucker, we're signing off to all the... What was our sign-off? To all Cold Cans Nation.
Chili, right? Wasn't it? Yeah.
Chili, chili. Plane. Gonna have to deal with Brian. They told me he was back from the... Why is that guy standing up already? Sit down!
The Cold Cans podcast is recorded in the Overcast Room at Cloud Studios in Seattle, Washington. Visit cloudstudiosseattle.com